Hi and welcome back to another video of jPlay. I am Marcus and today I'm doing a two-player playthrough of Glasgow. Two players because it's a two-player game in the end. This is one of the newest games by Lookout Spiel, so I was really intrigued giving this one a try. I played it now several times already and I really liked it. For me it really floats on the same boat like Robin of Locksley, for example. So it's really a great two-player experience. It plays very quickly. It's also a very thinky game. So I think it's now the season of thinky fillers. A little reference to Mercado de Lisboa here. And yeah, let's see how things go, huh? Shall we? Okay, and here we are. This is the setup for the two-player game. Of course, it's only two players. There is a green meeple. I'm not 100% sure if you can see them well enough over my greenish. That's why I usually don't play with green colors in my playthroughs. Apart from that, I really don't have anything against green. And we have the blue player in this case. The player who's farther behind, in this case around this clock here, is the starting player, or is the player who goes next. And there are no real rounds in this game. The game simply goes back and forth until the end of game is being triggered, which I really like a lot actually. This is really something that I've noticed really recently, but there are a lot of games out there who don't really have rounds, for example, which is really cool. I think I even saw that now in Bonfire. So it's also just a back and forth and there is no real round where you do some cleanup. No, it's simply flowing along nicely. Definitely enjoyable. Again, I will explain all the rules as I go. The game will end when we have built basically Glasgow here in the middle. That's 20 of those building tiles, which are next to those architects here. And whoever triggers it ends the game. So there is no final round or whatever. Everyone has equal amount of turns. No, that's not a thing here. It's pretty much when there are 20 buildings here, we will trigger the end of the game. During your game, or during your turn, there's actually not a lot that you can do. And by the way, those tiles here are the tiles that are not playing or that are part of this game. And that's interesting. So randomly, you basically take out two of those contract tiles which give you the action. So that's the meat of the game, actually. And we don't have any whiskey barrels in this game. There is a factory which gives you one, but apart from that, there is no way to get a whiskey barrel here. And of course, it has to be there. This is a game about Scotland in some extent, so we have to have whiskey, it seems. But maybe we don't see that here in this game. And whiskey is simply a wild card in respect to the resource. Apart from that, it really doesn't play a major role in this game. Okay, but that's that. And as mentioned, you're really not doing a hell of a lot of stuff. You are basically moving around this, I think it's called the river or so, basically around this clock here. And again, Tokaido, or similar to Kai, whoever is behind gets the next turn, which is also a mechanic which I quite like a lot, because it's up to you on how far you move and how many extra actions you will guarantee to the other player. And in this case, this is really a nice little contract here. Again, green is the starting player. And oh, by the way, I nearly forgot, all of the players start with one brick or one stone and one steel. Let's do that here for blue and green accordingly. And now, I guess two stone here is really not bad, because there are some tenements up there who demand brick or stone in this case. So getting some brick could be beneficial. So yeah, let's go that. So again, we will move as long as we want up to here. We cannot land on the same tile here, so that's really important. You have to land on the different tiles. So in theory, green could all the way down here back to, let's move those around. To this architect here, if there would be the perfect building, but then of course blue would have an infinite amount of turns in between. So usually you don't do that often. Okay, so green landed here on this grim looking dude, and therefore he simply gets two of those stones. Easy as that. And yes, you are limited in respect to the resources you have. There is exactly enough material available so that you can fill all of your spots for both of the player. The only exception to that is this whiskey barrel here. So this whiskey barrel can only be with one player, but if one player has it and another player gets it, then simply is going back and forth. But again, we don't have that tile here, so I'm not sure how likely it is we will see some whiskey. That was already the first turn. Then it's blue. I think there's no reason not to go here. Therefore, blue will get one steel from him. He's a little bit friendlier, I guess. And again, blue is now behind, and we basically, gets to go again. And now we can decide if we want to have a factory, and that's a nice factory actually, or we want to have the gold here in between, because I'm pretty sure if blue goes now here, then green will most likely grab this factory here from this architect. But I think getting gold early, yeah, let's go there. So blue will move on here. We don't need this because this allows you to activate pretty much a factory, and then a lot of other factories might possibly get activated. Right now there aren't any buildings or factories out there, so let's not go there. So for blue it's easy. We'll collect 1 piece of gold, and there is a limit in respect to gold too, so we can only hold up to 3 gold coins. That was the turn of the blue player, basically 2 turns. And yeah, I guess we really want to move in here with green. Getting this factory, that's a victory point at the end of the game. But again, when this factory is activating, the player gets 1 brick here. So I think, yeah, let's go then. This is now an interesting piece because I read both the German and the English rules of the game. The German rules say you go to the leftmost spot on this space and the second player can push you over. The English rules simply say when you are the first one, simply go to the right space. And I think this is what I'm going to do. This sounds much easier actually to deal with than just pushing someone over. So green is here and now can get to decide if they want to play or want to build the factory or to build this tenement here. I think he cannot afford the tenement. And green is a he, by the way. Blue is a she. And those boards are double-sided. That's nicely done. Yeah, I think let's spend, that's the price, by the way, 1 steel. Let's grab this. And the first one simply goes somewhere here in the middle. Doesn't really matter too much, normally at least. So that's the first building. It doesn't activate right off the bat because it's a factory. Factories are only triggered by other things. And there you see this little white arrow here. This tells you who owns this building. That's so cleverly done. When I really unboxed this and read the rules and said, hey, okay, but how do you distinguish who belongs? And then, yeah, there's this little arrow. So we will say that green is up here. Or let's put it here. Green is here to the left and blue is downward here. So we know that this factory now belongs to the green player. Then I believe we now refill this factory here. And I say believe because there is now a nice discussion on the Geek, which I started too, where I don't know exactly what the order of things is. Right now it doesn't really matter, but it seems there is some disconnect between the rules writer and the designer. The designer says you to trigger all the buildings first and whatnot, and then you refill. Whereas the rules writer, at least how I understand him, says no, it's the other way around. But in this case, again, it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, that's a shop. And a shop wants to be placed in a corner of Glasgow later. And right now, we don't know where the corners will be. So this is definitely a risk. And as it is on its own, it's only worth 1 point. But it could be worth 6 points if we play it nice. So this could be a building which we either not play at all or relatively late. Or again, we have to make a gamble. And then the player needs to make sure that the building is placed here correctly. And that's a landmark, by the way. They simply score you 5 points as they are. In theory, green could now spend 1 gold coin to build again on top of the building prices here. Green doesn't have any building, so I think, yeah, that's pretty much the end of his turn. Yeah, and then it's blue. Again, blue could go in here. That's the only space, or these spaces, these architect spaces, where there are 2 meeples allowed at the same time. All the others you have to jump over. You cannot activate them at the same time when another player is there. So again, blue could go there and go for this landmark here. And I think blue, she cannot afford it right now. She only has 1 stone. She could go for the shop, but as I said, the shop is really risky, and I think let's not do that. So we either want to go getting some more stone before, or we could go in here, which could also be very nice actually, because it could bring up a building which she could use, but I think getting some extra stone. We are still early in the game, so she will simply go in here. We'll collect 1 stone. And again, I keep saying she because that's clearly a she. Again, on the other side, let's show it to you. I think, yeah, there is this nice looking dude. Is he drunk? I don't know. But we will stick with a she for now. I really like the idea of having double-sided player boards again. Nicely done. But again, that was the end of the blue player's turn. Again, green could go in here, but green has stones enough. Here we can exchange resources, so we could give in 2 of our stone to gain 1 gold. But I'm really tempted to go into this contract here. I really don't know what the name is here, but let's go there. And what this means is we are drawing the topmost tile from the building stack here. We flip it over and we either build this building here. Well, that's amazing, a landmark, but this costs us 2 gold and green doesn't have any gold at all. The alternative is we can simply discard this building and take the leftmost resource that's printed here. In this case, that's a piece of gold. That's really not bad. I think that was a good draw. This is simply discarded. It could get shuffled back in, but for now, that's the green player's turn. Again, then it's blue. Blue doesn't have any reason not to go in here to this space, grabbing another stone. I think she's now doing extremely well. And right now there is this tempting train station here. The train station can score you 10 points at the end of the game if you happen to have at least one of these each. A landmark, a factory, a park, and a tenement. It's early game, so I think it's definitely worth the risk, right? So yeah, let's go in here to the architect space accordingly. She will spend 1 stone and 1 gold to grab this. We will place it somewhere. Doesn't really matter too much, I believe. Let's place it here again. The arrow is pointing down, so we know this belongs to blue. Then we are bringing out a new building, actually, and that's a factory. And in theory, blue could now spend the gold to build again. Problem is she doesn't have any gold, so she has to end her turn. And then we are moving back to the green player. Green, no, cannot afford this one here either, actually. Okay, he could go for this factory, actually. He could. And would score him another point, and he could gain 2 stone for that. The problem is, no, he doesn't have any steel. Of course, blue has the steel. So in this case, I think it's pretty obvious we are moving over to this guy here, because this gives him a stone and a steel. Yeah, let's do that. Again, that's a steel and a stone, and then it's back to blue. I think, again, blue will simply go in here, because, again, there is no reason not to. Blue can activate immediately again. This one allows you, basically on its own, doesn't do anything. But when you go there and jump from there to another tile, you basically get the tile, the second tile, second time, or twice. You can activate it twice. So this can be beneficial. On the other hand, we might also think about getting, this is a bank. So bank gives you 2 points for every steel you still have at the end of the game. And this is a park, and the park simply, I don't know, they multiply with themselves. So one park is worth 1 times 1, it's 1 point, 2 times 2, 3 times 2, and so on. And we need the parks for the rail station. So I think that might be the best deal for her, right? Because there are 2 tenements, so she's not too concerned about those. For now, she will get that. So yeah, let's do some jump here. Over here, she will go for this park. Need to spend 1 steel, and no clue why you have to spend steel for a park, actually. And again, it doesn't really matter where we spend the park for now. What it does, and I already forgot that. And again, I apologize. Sorry, I'm really getting ahead of myself. Luckily, it only happened once. Those factories, they always activate if someone builds something in the same row or in the same column. Obviously, blue built something here in this, so this should have been activated once at least. So we are simply getting 1 more stone to the green player. So no harm was done, nicely done. But that's the reason why blue now built the park in here, because again, it's not in the same row and it's not in the same column. So this factory doesn't activate again. And those only provide you endgame points. The same is true for those parks. Before we make up our mind, no, she doesn't have any gold anyway. So we will simply reveal, oh, and that's another park, and she cannot get that. And this is now so incredibly important, making sure that your opponent doesn't get all of those train stations. Like it's Monopoly with all those train stations, then you're really in a bad shape. I'm not saying you should play Monopoly, by the way. Blue doesn't have a gold coin. If she would totally go for this second park, because this would move her from 1 point to 4 points, 2 times 2. So it's green. Yeah, I think green has to move in here. Oh, does he? Does he? Because he knows that blue cannot jump there again, actually. So he knows he cannot go there. So in theory, because again, you have to end on different tile. So there's really not a huge risk, actually. So I think green will go in here first, and of course he has time anyway, so he's still behind. Then he will move over here to, or she could also go in here first and really getting rid of those tenements, because green knows blue needs those tenements for the train station. But if he moves in here first, he can do this. I think he will simply go in here. And again, this allows you to basically discard 2 of those tiles and draw 2 more. And that's even worse, I guess. That's even worse. Okay, but he will take it anyway. And this is, wow, that's a nice landmark up there too. And he could afford that either. Oh, that's so bad now. So many choices in this game. This is really so thinky. And then it's also these mind games. If I go there, what does he or she thinks what I'm doing? And wow, really, really enjoyable. But I think in this case, he will go in, or he will go in here. I think he needs to grab this first. I think that's key now. That was bad, actually. That was really bad. So let's pay 1 steel. He will place this park now. Most likely not into the same row or column. The reason for that is because he's already maxed out on stone. So he doesn't want to waste the spaces around that and not getting anything for that. I think this does make sense, right? And again, that's a point for green at the end of the game. We will still replenish, and again, it doesn't matter the order. Oh, that's a tenement. I think we have to do that now. We will spend 1 gold. This allows us to build a second time. Then green is spending 2 stone in order to grab this tenement. And I guess now we really can place the tenement here, which means this factory is now activating. So he gets 1 stone right back. That's not too bad. And again, on its own, this tenement is worth only 1 point, but basically you score 3 additional points for each tenement that's adjacent to it at the end of the game. And adjacent really means orthogonally adjacent to that. We will still continue to reveal new buildings, but right now, that's another tenement. So he doesn't have any more coins to build again. He would have the stone, but for the second or the third building, actually, you're building now, the second extra building, you have to pay 2 gold coins for that. So you're usually not doing that often. It's still the green player's turn though. He's still behind. So in theory, he could go ahead and snag this park away too. But the problem is he's out of steel for now. So I think let's go and get some more steel for the rounds to come. And again, I'm talking way too much than this game, what this game is really about. Usually it's really, really quick moving. Sometimes, yes, you have to have some thoughts around that, how you should move, but usually it's really moving relatively quickly. And finally, it's the blue player. And I guess, yeah, blue, the problem is I think blue really desperately needs gold, actually. I guess that's the best deal. Yeah, let's go and get some gold here. Now, let's not forget to award the gold. And then it's back to green. Going here is kind of a waste, but again, why should we not use it right now? So I think let's grab 1 of those. Again, we can only store up to 5 stones here on our player board. And then, yeah, in theory, we could go for this shop. And right now, it's a little bit more obvious what shops are available, or what corners of the game board we could expect. So for example, if we place the one here, the shop, we really want to make sure that this is one of the corners of building everything towards that direction, for example. We could also place it here and really hope that we will place something here and move it there, but it's still a risk. The problem is I would also go for this landmark, but yeah, green doesn't have any coins. Here are 2 stone spaces, and this is also so interesting. The game is so different each time you play it, depending on all the basically contract spaces that are out on top of those, how they are aligned to each other, on which order they are brought out on the game board here. So wow, that's so cool. Maybe we really want to start trading in some stuff, actually, so we really get some more. I think that's the best deal, because again, I'm not feeling like going for this shop here. No, let's not do that. So green will move all the way here to this trading space, and in theory I can make as many trades as I want. The only limitation is this 1 space up here, so trading 1 steel for 1 gold is only allowed once. I only have 1 steel now, so I'm not sure if I want to do that, but I think green definitely wants to spend 2 of his for 1 gold. Yeah, let's... Oh, wait a second. Maybe we can do that more clever, actually. Maybe we can, because we can do those in any order, right? So yeah, let's spend 1 to get 1 steel. So that's this. Ah, no, we can only make 1 trade. Ah, we can only make 1 trade. Yeah, that was the thing. Okay, no, then let's stay on target. We will basically spend 2 stone and 1 gold for that. Again, if we would have this duplication space before, then we could make 2 trades, but in this case we can only do 1. Again, it's blue, and blue needs, I think, one of those landmarks for the train station. So I guess getting this early might not be the worst thing in the world. So let's go in here. So she will spend 2 of her stone and 1 gold she has to grab this landmark. Again, it doesn't really matter too much where we build it, but we also know that green is interested in placing tenements next to each other. So I think placing the landmark here sounds like a pretty mean move. And it also means we do not activate the factory here right now. So I think that wasn't too bad at all. We will refill the architect here, and that's another bank. And wow, the bank, this one is great. You can basically, for every gold you still have at the end of the game, that's worth 3 points. And that's really something. That's not too bad. It's still Blue's turn, actually. She doesn't have any more gold coins, so she cannot build again, unfortunately. So I think she will hop 1-2 spaces here, getting her 2 stones back. And then, yeah, then what? So she could go here and gamble, or she could go for something where she knows what she's getting. This is this factory, and I think she needs a factory for her train station anyway. So I guess that's still her best bet. So she will move in here. She will spend 1 steel to grab this factory, and now she really wants to make sure she's locking in this tenement here, because again, now nothing else can be adjacent to this one here. But this would mean that this is activating. Well, that's not the worst thing in the world again. So we are activating all the factories, but not on its own. That's in the same column and in the same row. That's the factory of the green player. So we will simply give him 1 stone. Then we will bring out a new... Oh, and here is the factory with the CAC. Problem is she doesn't have the right resources, but this could be a nice match for the green player. I think he wants that. Oh, that's now a tricky one, actually, but I think he still wants it. I think he does. Yeah, let's go there, because getting this is really, really huge. So he will pay 1 gold and 1 steel for this factory here. We will place it, I guess, here for now. No, I think we have to place it the right way, obviously. So we'll place it here. So this factory will activate, giving him 1 more stone. And right now we can still not exactly tell when how the city will look like at the end of the game, because it's a 4x5 or a 5x4 grid. So right now we have a 4x4. Though I guess one of the next buildings could decide. So if one player places something here, then we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So then we know already the orientation of Glasgow. On the other hand, if someone places something down here, we know it's a 4x5. So that's also very, very interesting, and sometimes makes really a significant difference in respect to where you place your factories, in respect to whatever for those shops, for example. But let's not forget to bring out another tile down here. It's still the green player's turn. So in theory, if he would have a coin, he could... Oh, wow, this would have been really nice, actually, now. Tasty. This would make sense, but he doesn't have a gold coin. So I guess he has to continue to move. And, yeah, I guess he will go here. Again, right now he can only get the steel, but I think that's allowed. You get whatever you can do. And then it's the blue player. And I guess blue really wants to make sure to get the park up here. It's really a giant leap, but I guess it might be worth it. Yeah, why not? On the other hand, what does she still need for her train station? Because again, that's 10 points. So the train station, she has this, she has the landmark, so she needs the tenement. Oh, that's also important now. Maybe she should really focus on this one first, actually. Yeah, let's go for this one first. Of course, first she can go in here to grab one more steel. It's still her turn, and from there she will now move to this architect for this tenement. So she will spend 2 of her stone. That's the last stone she has. She will grab the building, and I guess she can place it trickily enough, maybe here, so she doesn't activate any of green player's factories. He really doesn't want to give him any whiskey, so I think that's okay for her. It will activate her factory, so she will get 1 stone back. Let's reveal a new tile. It's another tenement. She doesn't have any coins, so she can't build again, so it's again the green player. And I guess now it's time to move in here to go for the duplication action, and he really wants the park now, right? Oh, he could also go for the bank, but then at least he has a target then, getting a lot of steel, and there are a lot of steel resources out there actually. But if he goes in here, he could do both. The problem is he only has 1 steel. Ah, you must be kidding me. I think let's go for the quick win first. So he will spend his last remaining steel to grab this park. Oh no, I think he can do that. I think he can do that. So he will place it. No, he doesn't want to place. He could place it in here actually, and then he would gain, but it doesn't really give him anything, right? So he will place it here. Sorry, here. So this will activate the factory here. So he gets this wildcat here. Now it's really important, the order of things. Do you refill first or not? But again, he gets this thing, and now he has 2 parks, which is 2 times 2. That's already 4 points. That's not too bad. Keep in mind, he still has a second build action that's free. He doesn't need to spend any extra coins for that. And I still think this should be replenished first actually, because I think this is what the designer said. You basically, for your second build, you wait what comes out here first. I think that's the thing, because otherwise this other would be pretty useless. So let's see. It's another park. Oh wow, that's incredibly valuable. Cool. Absolutely. So he will spend his whiskey barrel to go for this 3rd park for him. We definitely want to activate the CAC, but we don't want to activate this one here. So in theory we could build it here, but it doesn't matter. So I think let's do it like this for now. It's still a 4 times 4 grid, by the way. That's very interesting. But this one triggers again, which means he gets the CAC right back. Nicely done. And now he has 3 of those parks. That's 3 times 3. That's 9 points. Really not shabby at all. Again, we will reveal, and oh, that's another factory actually. And he has this thing here back. So in theory, he could use it again to pay for the extra gold. Now he has to spend an extra gold for the next purchase, but he doesn't have the right resources here. So that's really kind of a bummer, but wasn't really a bad turn for green. Okay, that's cool. And then it's blue. Getting this bank here is also nice. And I believe her train station is completed, right? So she has, let's say, she has a landmark, she has a factory, she has a park, and she has the tenement. So she's good. So that's 10 points. And you don't score whatever multiple sets of that. Of course, if you have a second train station, you can score the same set twice. This is what I did during my last game, but it still wasn't good enough. So I think I mainly focused on these 3 train stations. It was okay, was close, but not enough. And this is also cool. You can really win this game in a lot of different ways. So blue could now go for the bank, which I think could be her best bet actually, because there's a steel right next to it, which she could grab away. Yeah, let's do that. So she will go in here for her first action. She will spend her steel to grab this bank. She doesn't want to give green too many things. So I guess in this case, let's place it here, because green doesn't get any stones for this factory here. But we are still grabbing this space away from blue from green later on. It still activates this factory though, and by the way, you get to choose the order of things. So she will simply grab 1
stone for that. Then we are going to replenish. That's another shop. And now placing a shop could make sense. Problem is she doesn't have any coins whatsoever, so she cannot go for a second build anyway. But I guess that's 2 points for her, so she will land here and grab herself another steel, bringing her to 2 steals in total again. And because of that bang she just spilled, that's 4 points right now. That's really not too bad. Back to green. I think green wants money, so basically a coin here. So let's grab that here accordingly, and then again it's back to blue. Sometimes these turns can be incredibly quick, so I think she will go in here, grabbing 2 more stone. She can still hold 1 more, so for her that's definitely not a wasted action. And then she could decide to go for this shop here. There is a risk. There is really a risk, because green can really make this go away actually, or making sure that this is not the corner. So in theory she should really only do that if she would be allowed to do a second build, because then she could really make sure that this could be the corner of our city of Glasgow here. Oh boy, oh that's now interesting. I guess first of all let's move in here. This allows us now to point to a factory, this one here, and this factory will produce, and now all the factories in the same row and end column are activated too. Again, green doesn't get anything for that, so that's okay for her. It was a freebie, so that's totally fine for her. Now she still has to make the call if she wants to go to the shop or not, but I'm pretty sure she will not do that, because it's very likely that green will then push it away or will take it away. I think she shouldn't do that. So I guess she really has to jump now actually. So maybe getting some gold here. I think that's what she wants to do, right? So she will move in here again. You have to pick 1 trade, but you can do this trade multiple times. So in this case, I guess, yeah, why not? She will spend 4 of her stone, giving her 2 gold coins. Yeah, I think that's what she should do. She still has 1 stone left, and overall, resource-wise, she's doing quite okay. Whew. Okay, what are we going to do? I think he can go for this shop. No, actually, nah, he doesn't have. I think it's okay. No, I think he can do that actually. I think he should be fine. So he will move here to this architect. He will go for this shop. So he will spend 1 stone and 1 whiskey, basically replacing that steel. Steel is the better. Whiskey is the better steel. We all know that. So we will place this shop now, I guess, here. So right now it's still not the corner. It's still a 4x4 grid. So in order to make sure that this is the corner, green will now place something in the bottom row here. Then we know that. Or is placing something here. Then we also know what's there. So I think overall that's okay. So first of all, we will place it here. We will activate all the factories. We will start with green. He will take this whiskey for sure. We'll take it back. But we will also activate this factory, and this gives blue a stone, but that's okay. So that could be 6 points for green. That's not too terrible. We can still replenish now. So in here, so let's see what we get. That's another factory, and that's a nice factory actually. I think we want to do that now. So first of all, we will spend 1 here. That's now 1 gold, which gives us the second build. For now. Then I guess we will spend 2 stone to grab this factory. That's another point. On the other hand, we could also go for this one. But then we need to get gold, and let's go for this one here first. Let's go for the factory. And again, he does want to make sure he's making sure that this is now a corner spot, because again, now we know it's a 4x5 grid in this direction here. We will activate all the factories in the same row and column, so he gets the CAG right back. It was really nicely done, actually. And in theory, he could still go on, because we will continue to replenish. Oh, that's a nice one. But the second one costs him 2 gold now, but he has so many ways getting... Oh, does he now? Ooh, that's now tempting, actually. Let's do that. So he will spend 2 extra gold now to get a 3rd build this round. Yeah, let's totally do that. So he has to spend 1 more stone. That's the actual building cost now. And I guess he wants that back, right? Yeah, absolutely. So let's do it like this. So that's now another bank. And again, we are activating the whole row, which means he gets this cag back and he gets this stone back. And again, this stone could be worth 1 point to him at the end of the game. Okay, that was a nice turn. And you also see we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more buildings left. And then the game immediately ends. And it's still his turn. But the next building would cost him 3, which he doesn't have. Okay, that's another tenement. Okay, so I guess, wow, that's, I think, pretty okay actually. So he will move 1, 2 spaces here, giving him 1, 2 more stones. That's 2 more points. Okay, he's catching up. He's catching up. I was concerned for a while. Not sure if that's enough, but at least he will score some points finally. And I guess he may want to move in here because that's another tempting one and he can build it. He knows this is a corner location for him. Okay, let's totally go there. He will spend 3 victory points for that, but for that he gets 6 victory points back. I think that's okay. So that's another shop. I guess he has to build it here. This will activate again, giving the blue player now another stone, but that's still okay. That's 6 more points for him. That's 12 points, and we can still replenish. Because keep in mind, he still has the cack, so he could continue to build actually, but no, I think that's that. He cannot afford that. That's another rail station. Oh, that's so terrible. Oh, he's now really out of luck. Okay, then it's finally the blue player's turn. This is really so nice in this game. It has this little push, like what comes out next and when should I do stuff. Really, really such a cool game. So blue will simply go in here just to see what it is. She could simply gain a resource. Okay, she could build now this landmark for those resources. And can she do that actually? I think she can. Oh yeah, let's totally do that. Because she can do both. Yeah, that's 4 points. That's easy 4 points. So she will spend 1 stone and 1 gold to build this landmark. She could place it here because here she would give him a steal, which he could really use then with his next turn. And maybe that's not what he should do, or she should do. So I guess she will place it like so, because again, this doesn't activate any factors. Of course, she would also gain a stone, but she may not need it that much actually. Okay, it's still her turn now. She will definitely move in here to grab this train station here. She still has those resources. That's so bad. So I guess, yeah, she will build the train station now. And yeah, in the end, it didn't matter because now she will definitely also get something out of this. So she will get a stone for the factory she's activating, but will also give a steel to the green player. Oh boy. And then it's 2 more building spaces left. And in theory, you could now start counting through how many points even that. I'm not doing this. I'm simply playing this game now until the bitter end. It's over relatively soon. But let's bring out a new tile. She doesn't have any gold, so she cannot go for a second build, but it's still her turn. And I believe she gets, doesn't she have the bank, which gives her, yeah, it does. It really does. So I guess she will move in here. No, of course not. No. She will go up there actually, because again, this would be another cool space for the green player. So she will get a stone and a steel. That's okay. And then it's back to green. And of course, he will go in here simply because he can. And then maybe going for this landmark here. That's 6 more points. And he can afford that. Yeah, let's do that. So, that's her. So he will move in. Yeah, let's move in here. So he will spend his whiskey, 1 steel and 1 stone. He gives 1 point away, but he gets 6 points back. I think that's still a good deal. And I believe here it doesn't matter where he places it as far as I know. So let's simply place it here because he'll simply activate the same row. So he gets 1 steel back, but he was really hoping for more stone. But that's that. We will still bring out a new tile here. Oh, that's another park. Oh yeah, that's perfect for her actually. Yeah, he cannot do that. If he would have 1 more coin, he really would have scored a hell of a lot of points. So I think she should really end it now. Right. I think she could. Yeah, it's 1 point for No, it's 3 points for her. So I think that's okay, actually. Let's simply do that. So she will move in. No, but she will give 2 points away. So it's only 1 point for her. So can she do more? I mean, there is another train station down here, and for whatever reason, I didn't notice it right off the bat. But I think she doesn't have the gold now, and she knows if she does something, then whatever she's doing, so if she goes to the gold space, she knows that, yeah, he simply will grab that train station or something else away, actually. So I think if she does anything else but building now, it's very likely... Oh no! Actually, she knows green cannot land on the same space again. At least that's how I understand the rules. But there is other things. I think he can still end. So when, let's say, blue moved really here to get the gold, then yeah, I think green could go here, grab the stone. No, I think... Come on, let's keep it short and crisp. So she will move in here. Yeah, might not be the best turn, but let's go for it anything. So sorry for my thinking out loud here, but this game is really brutal. Playing it on your own, playing it for 2 players, crazy. So she will spend the steel to grab this park, the last park, and the last building of the game. It's actually not the last park. I believe there are 6 parks in the game. So this really nice player board comes with all you need to play the game. So it stores your components and it also tells you the distribution of the tiles. Nicely done. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the game. So we will tally up our score here. The problem is the game doesn't come with any scoring track whatsoever. There is no notepad in it where you count it. This is the one piece that I don't like. I get it, production cost and whatnot, but I think this would be the one thing, having something to score your points now is something. So basically everyone, we are going now for all the things. So what do we will score? The parks, we will score the shops, we will score all the little stars here in the top right corner of those things. So for example, we know now already that green will score 1, 2, 3 times 3, 9 points for the parks. We will score all those little stars there, but I think I will do this counting now off camera, otherwise it will be really... If there would have been a scoring, I think I might have done that now with you, so I might need to do something. Usually I use some coins from my repository somewhere to keep track of the score, but again, I will do that counting now off camera. And yeah, in the end it was 35 points for blue versus 31 points for green. So blue is the winner. Congratulations, she did an amazing job, but overall 31 and 35 points is not huge actually. So you can definitely score a little bit higher than that. But again, it's me playing against myself, so every little twist I'm trying to do, my other part of the brain knows what I'm doing here, even though there's really a lot of moving parts here in respect to the scoring mechanism here. So really a lot of things to think through. It's very, very thinky. And again, it comes with this nice little mind game. Hey, if I go there, he thinks or she thinks I go there, and then I go there. I can maybe go there, and maybe she doesn't want to go there. And oh, let's grab this train station before she's taken away from it. But she's saying, I don't care about this train station. I want these 2 resources on the way, and maybe to build my 4th park or whatnot. So really, really a lot going on in this one. And for us, really a great, nearly replacement for Robin of Locksley, which we played numerous times now in the meantime. Again, still love Robin of Locksley too, but Glasgow really now it has some new things, new twists. So I think for this season, for purely 2-player, it might be Glasgow for now. So really nicely done. A huge shout out to all of my patrons. Really, really do appreciate your support. We have a new executive producer, which is David. So thanks so much for upping your pledge on my page on Patreon. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, as usual, like and subscribe. Everything helps, and hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.